opposition.
Yes, it looks sensational here, Bruce, and Mark Bosnich made an interesting comment during the week saying that he feels that the current Socceroos side won't be the best ever team until they get to the World Cup, and he holds the 1974 Socceroos as the benchmark to achieve. But we are in for a terrific occasion tonight. The Olympic Stadium has been officially opened. Now it's time for the main event. Not since the World Cup devastation of Iran at the MCG 19 months ago has there been a gathering in Australia of our finest talents. But the Socceroos have come home, and we're about to get an early glimpse of the young men who will lead our next charge to World Cup qualification. The crowd here eagerly anticipating the visit of players like Vieri and Ocon, the two teammates there for Lazio talking. Well, not anymore. Vieri, of course, has just transferred for a phenomenal amount of money, but more on that later as we take a look at the Socceroos as they come out. Lazaridis, Tony Popovic there, Ned Zelic, Paul Ocon, all smiles at the back of the team. And Paul Wade, it is an absolute thrill to see Paul Ocon back in the Australian colours.
Yes, indeed. He's one of the most talented footballers we've ever exported. We put in that category, obviously, Ned Zelic, but certainly Paul Ocon with what he's done in Italy. He's had a wretched 12 months, probably even longer. That knee is still giving him trouble. Even during the week, he was complaining that it still wasn't 100%. But I'll tell you what, a Paul Ocon that is fully fit is probably the most gifted player we've ever produced.
What a pleasure it is to see Paul Ocon and Ned Zelic in the same team together. They have played twice before for the national team, but it was many years ago. And the national anthems are coming up very shortly. But the crowd here are just soaking up the atmosphere. The world stars have finally arrived. They came in dribs and drabs over the last 24 to 36 hours. The coach, Roy Hodgson, wasn't sure at one stage who he would have to choose from. But now they're here, and they're ready to go, and they're ready to take on Australia at the Olympic Stadium. All the respective players are on the park now, both the starting 11s and the substitutes. The weather is extremely cool in Sydney tonight. It's a beautiful night, but it's very crisp. The pitch, as you can see behind the players, is very hard indeed because of the very cold air. There's no hint of any rain for the massive crowd that's in tonight. Paul Ocon, Aurelio Vidmar was in the team that drew 2-2 with Iran 19 months ago. And some young players from the Olympic side involved in this as well, Wade. It's great to see Raul Blanco involving the Olympic team.
Well, Raul Blanco had two options, really, didn't he? He could have thrown out all the superstars there onto the park and just forgotten about the future. And what he's basically trying to do is to introduce some of these players, because he's got to think as the coach of the next 4 years. And therefore, that's why he's got people like Brett Emerton on the bench, Simon Colosimo. He's given Steve Corica a chance.
Yes, that's quite right. But before the main game, we have the national anthem sung by Wendy Matthews. Well, the crowd goes up after the Australian national anthem. What a thrill it is to be here tonight, not just because of the football. We've already opened the Olympic Stadium tonight. And it's time now for the match to commence. The respective captains, Alex Tobin and Jürgen Klinsmann, the great German international, as the two sides shake hands, is the FIFA tradition these days. So many great names in both lineups too, it does have to be said. And Alex Tobin, every time he plays for Australia, he adds another number to the Australian record caps. What a great servant he's been to Australian football. Let's check the Socceroos lineup, and regardless of the opposition, this really is an all-star lineup for Australia. Two genuine goal-getters in John Aloisi and Mark Viduka in attack. The mercurial Harry Kewell playing just behind those two. Ned Zelic is in the best form of his career in central midfield, but the icing on the cake is the international return of Paul Ocon at sweeper. Wadey, you've been in this occasion on many times in your career, without a doubt. You know what's going on, and we'll just get your thoughts in a moment before we look at the World Stars lineup, and they begin with their most impressive 11. Leonardo, World Cup winner. Jürgen Klinsmann, World Cup winner. Plus Christian Vieri, the world's most expensive player, form the attacking trio. And what a handful they will be tonight for the Australian defence. But Wadey, you've got an idea of what's going on for the players. Just give us a feel on how some of these guys are feeling right now.
Well, I tell you what, Alex Tobin is probably, this is his, what, 88th cap? I tell you, it's almost as if it's his first. There's nothing more, well, I suppose, nerve-wracking than playing in front of your own crowd. But when it's a crowd like this, something that we only see probably once every 4 years, and that's when the biggest World Cup qualifier comes around, it's even more nerve-wracking. There's a lot of players who play in front of big crowds every week. People like Ned Zelic. And, you know, even Tony Vidmar playing for Rangers. You know, Mark Viduka there for Celtic. Paul Ocon for Lazio. Harry Kewell at Leeds. You know, they're playing in front of big crowds all the time, but there's nothing like playing in front of your home crowd. And it's that sort of atmosphere, that sort of nerve-jangling stuff that really does, well, it'll set the players' nerves on a bit of edge. It'll take them about 5 or 10 minutes to calm down and start playing a little bit of football.
It's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because it's great to have your hometown and your home country behind you, but at the same time you want to impress so much in front of them that it sometimes can work against you. But there is a great picture. The World Stars combined with the Australian Socceroos for the official photo before the game. Jürgen Klinsmann, the final game of his most illustrious career. Well, who would have guessed that he would have finished such a magnificent innings here in Australia? And Simon Micallef there in the red tracksuit. The Australian referee is the 4th official tonight. A big thrill for him to be involved, I'm sure. There's so much expected off that man right there. Harry Kewell really blasted his way into the Australian soccer scene in the last World Cup campaign when he scored 2 goals against Iran, one in Iran and one in Australia. But he's gone on in leaps and bounds since then, as I'm sure we'll see tonight. Brian Cridland, the managing director of Rexall Australia, in the centre of the players on screen there, tossing the coin. And Jürgen Klinsmann and Alex Tobin, two real veterans of the world game. Well, Jürgen Klinsmann retired officially from international football at last year's World Cup weight. He looks pretty relaxed out there, doesn't he?
Yes, he certainly does. He's one player that really impressed me during that World Cup in '98. A lot of people had written him off, and yet he was still scoring goals against some of the best countries in the world.
And that's the Goodyear blimp. What a fantastic view from above Stadium Australia. Tonight's referee has come from Japan, Mr. Masayoshi Okada, who was Japan's representative at the World Cup last year. He also refereed Australia against Canada back in 1993 in the World Cup qualifier. And Leonardo just shaking hands there. He played so much of his career in Japan. Perhaps he even knows the referee. Leonardo, the great Brazilian, played midweek against the Netherlands. He scored a goal and made a goal in a 3-1 victory, and then hopped on a plane straight away to come to Australia for this game. Australia's front pair, Mark Viduka, John Aloisi. Two players who haven't played a lot together in the same team, but have done great things in club football this year, as has this man, Mark Bosnich. And the match is underway, a marvellous occasion, not just because the likes of Vieri and Klinsmann are on the park, but Australia's lineup, the Socceroos lineup, is awesome as well. A class player in every position, and Paul Wade said earlier that he feels this is the best Australian side that has ever taken the park. As Kuhl goes in. This is Murat Yakin on the ball. It's a great switch of play to Simbala, the Russian, on the left-hand side of midfield tonight for the World Stars. Leonardo on the ball now. Easily robbed by Korica. Zelic. What a season he's had in the German Bundesliga. Zelic again. All the way back to Paul Ocon. Simbala takes over for the World Stars side. The crowd just a little subdued at the moment, trying to ease their way into the game, as I'm sure the players are as well. The pitch is rock hard, as I mentioned earlier, and it's looking fairly bumpy as well. So the ball moves across the turf, and Tobin switches it in the air to Stan Lazaridis. First free kick of the game going to Australia, right on the halfway line. It was the number 16 for the World Stars, Okan Buruk, the Turkish international, who fouled him. Korica with an early ball. Lazaridis cutting inside. Straight into trouble though. Challenged by Yakin. That's a dangerous ball over the top, and Christian Vieri is the perfect man to exploit it as he cuts in onto the left foot, and there, safely for Australia, was Tony Popovic. Well, as you said, Wade, it takes a few minutes to get rid of those nerves, and a few minutes also to get used to the pitch as well. Simbala with the corner. Away by the Australian captain, Tobin. And the two players just running into each other there. No malice intended. Kuhl it was. Running into probably the shortest player on the pitch, Okan Buruk. Julio Cesar, the Brazilian, will take the free kick, but he's given it away. Aloisi, Viduka leading the charge for the Australian attack tonight, working his way into the area. Plenty of yellow shirts forward. Here's one of them, Tony Vidmar, taking his man on. Great play, Tony Vidmar. Whips it across. Lamar had two goes at it. But a promising beginning, Paul Wade, for Australia down that right-hand side.
It's something that they practiced all week, to tell you the truth. Raul Blanco realises that if you are going to play against the World 11 that have just come together for the very first time, they can be exploited out wide, and that's why he's asking people like Lazaridis and Tony Vidmar to get behind that last defender, and that's exactly what happened. I'm not so sure about West. He looked to be hobbling there. He didn't get any tackles in, so that's something that they could exploit in this first part of the first half. There it is there.
Yeah, Vidmar getting past two defenders to get that cross, and it was Kuhl at the back post who was there waiting for it. Had Bernard Lamar shown any sign of dropping that ball. And robbed in midfield. Zelic trying to win it back, and this is great play by Yakin for the World Stars. Forward, he's got men out wide on the left, and he's been fouled. Well, this could be interesting. A free kick just outside the Socceroo penalty area, with Leonardo, the Brazilian, in the World Stars lineup. And Tobin was forced to come right out to meet the midfielder there, and it was a clear foul. Leonardo over the ball. Five-man wall for Australia. Bosnich watchful, curling it straight at the goalkeeper. Well, he'll be glad to have an early test. Not too stern a test, mind you, but all goalkeepers like to get involved in the game as early as they can, and Mark Bosnich is certainly a player who verbally will be involved in the game, even if he's not getting too many touches of the ball.
I wonder what he's thinking, Paul. I mean, every time he gets the ball now, people are comparing him with Peter Schmeichel, who's just left Manchester United. I mean, it's going to take a good 12 months before people start to realise or think, when they think Man United, they think Mark Bosnich, because Peter Schmeichel was such a dominant force, whether he was stopping the ball, hitting the back of the net, or organising his back four. And they are big shoes to fill. And if anybody can do it, Mark Bosnich can.
And Kuehl slipping it. Chance here for Australia. Into the area! Oh, brilliant save, Lamar. But Australia carved open the World Stars' defence there fairly comfortably. And it was Stan Lazaridis, as you said, Wadey, coming forward all the way from the back and almost opening the scoring here at the Olympic Stadium.
Well, he's torn better teams than this apart. I remember in the Confederations Cup he had a go at the Brazilians as well. He was one player that really did entertain the crowds there in Saudi Arabia. Not having a happy time of it at the moment at West Ham. Has looked to go to Manchester City there for a while, but didn't get released. Wanted to stay at West Ham in the English Premier League, and that's the reason why he enjoys running at players, and we'll see more of it in the next 90 minutes.
Yes, it really is his biggest asset, without a doubt, is Rigobert Song, and that is a very lazy ball indeed, and Kuehl latched onto it, and John Aloisi feeds Viduka. He might fancy his chances here, Viduka. Well, an extra touch. And it was one touch too many for the big man. And here's Lazaridis. Only had Lamar to beat. It was on his right-hand side, not his natural stronger side, but it was a great chance. And let's give some credit to the French goalkeeper. And here's Corica with a great move for Australia. Great ball. Little touch inside to John Aloisi was a gem.
I think this is the key, Paul. When the Socceroos get the ball, they attack at 100 miles an hour. You can imagine just getting off a plane from Europe less than 24 hours ago. The last thing you need is somebody like Steve Corica or John Aloisi running at you. They've got to continue to do more of it. Yes, keep possession in the middle of the park, but somebody's got to make that break and have a go at somebody, take somebody on and create a 2-on-1 somewhere.
Yeah, I agree totally, Wadey. Christian Vieri's played 2 games in the last 7 days, plus a 25-hour flight. Apparently he got hardly any sleep last night, so sure both Popovic and Tobin put their hand up to pick him up, perhaps. But here's Rigobert Song, the Cameroon international. And Leonardo Song. Well, it's an unfamiliar position for Rigobert Song at left back. He's made his reputation in 2 World Cups now as a central defender. Australia 0, World Stars 0. It's a corner now to the World Stars. Oh, that's a great goal. No denying that. And it was a very straightforward header in the penalty area. Murat Yakin. And Australia will be very disappointed to concede a goal from the set piece so early on in the game. We're in the 10th minute of the match. Let's take a look at the corner. No one picked up the run from Yakin, and he perfectly placed that header in the top right-hand corner.
Well, that's just schoolboy error, isn't it? Nobody was picking up anywhere. Yakin's a big boy. In fact, there's several big boys in this World Stars team, but the look on Bosnich's face says it all, doesn't it? Total disgust. Can't believe it.
Well, that is an early setback for the Socceroos. Especially disappointing because they've come out of the block so strongly here tonight, and they have really taken the game to the World Stars. So a bit of work to be done to get back into this game. And certainly as the match goes on, you would expect the Socceroos to be the stronger of the two sides. Roy Hodgson did say he'd expect to use all of his squad, and look at that from Ocon. Well, he glided past his man on the halfway line, then hit a 40-metre pass straight to the feet of John Aloisi. Rigobert Song just getting back as we take another look at the goal, and it was Yakin working his way in unmarked, and for a player of his calibre, that's almost a training goal. And the Socceroos, Kuehl takes it, Tobin at the near post, loose ball here for Australia, deflection! Well, that did not miss by much. And some signals coming from Bernard Lamar there. I don't know what he was talking about. And Tony Popovic naturally forward at the back, and Tobin got a touch at this near post here. It was a loose ball, Popovic left it. As another corner comes in, and this one's cleared.
It's going to be a long night for that man, Christian Vieri, isn't it? Hey, every time he gets the ball, there's somebody snapping at his heels. Socceroos, they're passing him on. Nobody's really going one-on-one with Christian Vieri, because he does run so many miles right across the back line. You really can't afford to get dragged from one side to the other. So the Socceroos are passing him on.
And the foul there against Harry Kuehl. There was talk throughout the season that the Italian giants Juventus were about to spend $30 million to get the signature of Harry Kuehl. Instead, he re-signed with Leeds United. He feels at 20 years of age, he's still establishing himself and perhaps not quite ready for the cauldron of Serie A, but there's no doubt he'll head over to Europe later on in his career. As Ocon anticipated that quite brilliantly. Vidmar goes back to Tobin. The pressure coming in from Klinsmann. That's a fine ball out of the defence for Kuehl. Loves running at defenders. Harry Kuehl going through, surrounded by players. He found Zelic. Zelic's pass was aimed for Viduka, but just a little overhit. Taribo West on the ball, unmistakable with those beads on top of his head there. Blue and black beads and the colours of his club, Inter Milan. Ocon touching it down. Already he and Zelic seem to have some kind of understanding. They've only been on the park together for about 14 minutes. Zelic taking it close. Now the cross comes in. Leonardo was there waiting. Simbala was looking for a free kick there, and there was no chance whatsoever the referee was going to give one. Now Kuehl. Kuehl being picked up there by Lucas Radeby, his Leeds United teammate, of all players to be marking him, his club captain. Corica, another who loves to run at defenders. Aloisi, nowhere really to go, so he goes back to Lazaridis. Kuehl, little touch on. Lazaridis through again. Loose ball. Nothing there for Australia, but still they have possession. Lazaridis heavily involved in Australia's attacks, but he's given the ball away. The World Stars playing a patient game in defence. Kuehl, that's a bad tackle from behind, but it wasn't given by the referee, and the play goes on. Vieri. Well, Bosnich so quick off his goal line.
Well, you've got to ask the referee about that tackle, don't you? I mean, tackles from behind like that can cause injury, irreparable damage, and referees are supposed to send players off. And Rigobert Song, a man, as you said, quite rightly, has been sent off in the last 2 World Cups. the youngest man ever to be sent off in the World Cup, 17 years of age. So we talk about this being a friendly. These boys are out here to keep their reputations intact, that's for sure. You can tell by that tackle.
As Kuehl whips in across. There's a loose ball. Lazaridis, the man to pick it up. Well, he's been involved in everything in the opening 16 minutes or so, Stan Lazaridis. And this is a challenge on Harry Kuehl. And Kuehl went down so heavily. Rigobert's song pleads innocence. As we take another look at the shot from Lazaridis, was well wide, but at the same time a promising sign again for the Socceroos. Long ball from Bosnic. Kuehl picks it up. Well, Radaby knew what he was going to do. Oh, that was a delight. A little back heel there from Okan Buruk. And a nice switch from Yakin as well, the Swiss international with Turkish origin. Song will go all the way back. Well, there's always an interesting twist to any football match, but ironically the coach for the World Stars tonight is Roy Hodgson, who's strongly tipped to be the next Socceroo coach, so every one of the Australian players will have that in the back of their mind, and a chance to get an early impression on perhaps the new Socceroo coach here. Simbalar, it's a clever ball inside to Yakin. He was just out-muscled in midfield there by Alex Tobin, pushing forward as is Kuehl here. Harry Kuehl! Well, that was class. And that is what the fans have come to see. The sheer genius of Harry Kuehl. He made that all on his own, but the layoff was inch perfect as well. And Kuehl just picked up the loose ball in midfield. That was a brilliant back heel from John Aloisi.
Harry Kuehl's got to be very, very patient in this game. It's going to be frustrating. He's got to find those gaps in between the back line and the midfield.
Aloisi, good try. And the Socceroos starting to warm to the task here after that setback of an early goal by Yakin. Well, that's a very casual ball given to Lazaridis. Aloisi, fine pass as well. Kuehl in space, pulling it across. Well, Lamar by far the busier of the two goalkeepers.
And there's Harry Kuehl's forte yet again, finding that gap between midfield and defence. Just that little bit of room to move. He can go left, he can go right. Yakin is the man who's causing a lot of problems for the World 11. But I tell you what, if he doesn't start picking up Harry Kuehl, the pendulum could swing the other way.
Well, let's see how tight the Socceroos are from this corner waiting, though. They won't let their man a millimetre away from them, I'm sure.
Well, there's a lot of discussion going on out there, a lot of finger pointing, who's picking up who. A lot of blue shirts in a row as well.
There is the corner to the back post. Well, Leonardo on the edge of the area, but he's been forced back. Still Leonardo. It's a dangerous ball dealt with by Tobin. Good take by Mark Bosnic. Now Australia forward. Kuehl free on the left-hand side. He might go on his own here. There's players in the centre. One of them is John Aloisi. Oh, it's just wide. Great opening, carved out again by the Socceroos. And Kuehl, not surprisingly, at the heart of it. Tricked out Aloisi perfectly with an inch-perfect cross. One touch in the shot. That was the move for Aloisi. The technique just letting him down there.
Well, you probably won't believe me, but he's finished every one of those all week. And the time he has to do it right, he can't get it. Just shows you, doesn't it? It's that rush of blood to the head just when you're about to strike the ball. That's why they pay so much for Vieri.
Yakin, the goal scorer, in space, and that is a great ball. Leonardo can't get there. Well, it's a corner to the World Stars. The angle was almost non-existent, but he still pulled Mark Bosnich into action. Well, this is the deftest of balls from Murat Yakin. Onside, as you can see there, by our camera on the edge of the penalty area. Leonardo, a very tight angle. Bosnich just touched it away. As the ball comes to the back post, and it's another corner. Five corners now to the World Stars. Roy Hodgson's got a few things to say. He's up off the bench. He's talking to Taribo West on the halfway line. Roy Hodgson said during the week that he wants it to be a great game and he's not too concerned about the result, but once the whistle goes at the start, he's out for a win. That's a big header and one, but straight to Bosnich.
He actually said that any result better than 6-1 would be a step in the right direction, because I think that's what the World 11 got thrashed at the last time he was coach of them. From Australia's perspective, Ned Zelic has played in a World 11 for the FIFA team in the past, so he's a taste of what it's like to be on the other side as Lazaridis comes forward. Aloisi, and we're really for him to go, so he goes out wide. Kuhl in acres of space. Oh, another good cross. Aloisi's at the back, laying it down. Oh, superb save, Lamar. Viduka sliding in there, but Harry Kuhl is just tormenting the World Stars defence. He was brilliant 19 months ago against Iran, but hasn't he improved? Look at that touchdown from Aloisi as well, and Lamar, well, he's 36, but he's got the reflexes of a teenager. Yeah, Harry Kuhl, it was about 12 months ago that he told me he came back to Australia while other players come back for a rest and to meet family and friends. Harry Kuhl came back to actually find new ways of beating the opposition. He spent a good 2 or 3 weeks here in Australia practicing step overs, all different kinds of ways, because he felt that everybody in the UK knew how he was going to beat a player, so he had to find another way. I mean, he's certainly showing us some skills tonight. So I think the way he's going, he's still got a few up his sleeve. Vieri, and the pitch just beat him there, I think, but Aloisi takes over for the Socceroos. Kuhl. Oh, when he gives Lucas Radeby, his team captain, a bit of a ribbing about the way he's tormented him in this half. Lazaridis is offside. Raul Blanco. Socceroo coach, also the Olympic team coach. Early taste of the stadium for him, and another look here at Kuhl's ball for Lazaridis. Well, if that's offside... You say it. I'm not going to say it. I think everybody at home's saying it. All right, they can see. The pictures told the story there for sure. Shows you the size of the players, doesn't it, when you've got players up against Viduka like that. It's Australia 0, the FIFA World Stars 0. Kuhl touching it on. Sazar, loose ball. Rigobert Song gets the ball away. Ocon. Song back to Lamar, clever header back from him.
minutes. Yakin, the goal scorer, to Klinsmann, who scored 47 international goals in his career. Song, cutting inside, plenty of Australian shirts back. Kuehl picks it up for Australia. 27 minutes gone here.
Just wonder whether the Socceroos haven't got it the wrong way round. Leonardo has been picked up by Steve Corica. That's Leonardo, the number 10, being caught offside there. Stevie Corica is a man who loves to go forward. I just wonder if he wouldn't swap with Ned Zelic. I think that allows Ned Zelic to dwell on the ball a little bit more. He's one of those players who can find Harry Kuehl out wide, can find the likes of John Aloisi, because John Aloisi's making some tremendous runs diagonal off the ball, and Steve Corica's not that sort of player. He likes to run at players like Harry Kuehl. There's Steve Corica on the ball now, so just wonder whether it wouldn't be better if Ned Zelic and Steve Corica did swap.
Well, Kuehl has swapped. He swapped sides for the moment. Vidmar inside. Corica fairly quiet so far. A little ball through. Viduka trying to get there. Now, Christian Vieri. Oh, that's a clever idea. Ocon was waiting for that exact move from Vieri. Probably seen it 1,000 times at training. Aloisi. Switch to Tony Vidmar. Ocon is a player who loves to come forward from midfield. We may see just a little bit more of that as the match goes on. For the time being, the World Stars have just settled after a great passage of play for Australia. Julio Cesar. Roy Hodgson has a squad of 18 to select from. He has said that he'll give everyone a run, so you can expect some changes from the World Stars at half-time. It's a bad mistake by Taribo West. Zelic inside. Kuehl tried to take it on the turn. Great ball, Leonardo picking up Vieri, who just peeled away from his marker. Popovic taking him on, playing it across. Dangerous cross there by Christian Vieri. 12 years since Vieri was in Australia. A great homecoming from him. Lazaridis cutting inside again. There's Lazaridis. Kuehl's free. Harry Kuehl! Well, he's swapped sides, and he's still in the game more than ever. Leonardo. There's a hint of a foul there, and he's saying to the referee that he thought it should have been given, but Bosnich has the ball for Australia. Play goes on.
That was Australia's 6th shot at goal to the World 11's 1, so you can see definitely having a shot at goal. Lamar is definitely the keeper who's having to do a lot more work. But again, you can see what Harry Kuehl was doing with that particular attempt on goal, trying to curl it. Didn't try and take the cover off it, just try and curl it very nicely into that corner, and that just shows the class of the boy. You could see exactly what he wanted to do. It was disappointing for the crowd, but another inch and he would have got it right. Inside. Well,
Vieri was expecting that one. He gave it straight to Harry Kuehl. Corica, so adept at going past his man. Surging forward as well. Back to Aloisi. It's a corner as well. John Aloisi transferred from Portsmouth to Coventry into the Premier League in England, and he did not look out of place in that calibre of competition whatsoever. Now he's back leading the Australian attack with Mark Viduka, and it's Kuehl with one of those left footers. Lazaridis got to the ball first. Vieri not willing to chase him across the park, perhaps a measure of some fatigue that he's feeling. This Australian crowd is waiting for an Australian goal. Murat Yakin with the only goal of the game so far. It's the World Stars 1, Australia 0. Simbalar touching it inside. Leonardo, great run down the line by Rigobert Song. Good cross as well. Klinsmann it was waiting at the back post. That is very much his trademark, coming in late. The crosses such as that, and a quality ball as well. And Jurgen Klinsmann, one of the true greats of world football, just touched off the head there of Tony Popovic. Took it off him.
He was actually bought by Liverpool to shore up their defence, but you can tell that he had so much in attack as well. What a beautiful cross. Fortunate thing it was caught offside. But it just shows you that I think the commitment of this World 11, you've got to give them credit, don't you? Some of them got off the plane this morning, last night, very late. They've come from all parts of the world. There was all sorts of rumours that it wasn't going to be a true game in the true sense of world football. But you can see by the sweat on their brow, there's Leonardo, and the commitment from Rigobert Song going forward there, that they are committed to this cause.
Well, they're true professionals, and I think once you get on that path, and you have a man like Viduka running at you, you don't want to let your side down in any way whatsoever. It's a nice layoff for Lazaridis. Still Lazaridis going forward. Takes the shot! Well, it's been an outstanding first half by Stan Lazaridis. Every opportunity he's had in front of goal has fallen to his right foot. What he'd give for just one on the left, I'm sure. He made this one all on his own, surging into the penalty area. Lamar had it covered.
Yeah, he had to hit it early, didn't he? I mean, the further he went to that byline, the closer the angle got. He really didn't have a chance to get a strike on goal. But I suppose that's one of the things that probably lets Stan Lazaridis down, his right foot. But then again, you'd say that Maradona's right foot wasn't that crash shot either, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he did pretty well on the other side though, didn't he? And by my count, there's 13 different nationalities or different languages in the World Stars team, so communication and cohesion is their main hurdle here at this stage anyway. Jet lag just doesn't seem to be part of the equation at all. Good cross in, Aloisi comes. Well, there is that man again, Bernard Lamar. 40 games for France. Was at France 98, but wasn't the first choice goalkeeper. Just look at how far he came off his line to take the ball right off the head there of Aloisi. Well, when you come, you have to go all the way, goalkeepers, and he certainly did that then.
Stayed in the middle of the ground. If they'd have parted and defenders had gone with them, he'd have given Harry Kuehl a little bit more room to come right through the middle. I'm sure that's something they'll talk about at half-time with Raul Blanco.
Yeah, I'm sure Raul will have a few things to say at half-time. Conceding a goal from a corner would be a big disappointment to the Australian coach. He's got plenty of time to recover. We're in the 37th minute of the game. Straight to Popovic. Zelic waiting for some opportunities. Viduka pushes away. He's got Kuhl outside him. Here's Corica. Viduka in front of him. Corica might fancy a run at the defence on his own here. Aloisi came in, touched off for Viduka. Well, there really was very little room to operate for the shot there by Mark Viduka. It was a defence that had plenty of numbers back. As Aloisi touched it off, Viduka with no angle just skewed the ball off the side of his boot.
Really does seem to be falling down in that final third, doesn't it? It's that second last ball that should end up with a strike on goal that's really not going in there. It was first 15 minutes it was working all right, but they seem to have run out of ideas at the moment. This World 11 defence, there's 4 of them in defence, and they're all in a straight line, and they don't move.
Well, Zelic moving down the right-hand side now, and Kuhl was all on his own on the left for a moment there. He was calling for it. Corica now works the ball left, Lazaridis. No surprise that he takes on his man and surges into the area again. More good work from Lazaridis, clipping it across. No one there. Gave it straight to Simbala, the Russian.
And I think, again, it's that back four. They say, well, if you're going to get past us, then do so. Do something. And then the Socceroos stand there and they've got the ball like Stan Lazaridis, and they go, hang on a minute, what am I going to do with this? So, I mean, you've got to give credit to this back four. They're standing rock solid and not being dragged out all over the place like a lot of maybe guys probably would be with the enthusiasm of this crowd.
Yeah, they're incredibly well drilled, considering they were shaking hands with each other in the hotel foyer this morning, some of them meeting each other for the first time. It's a credit to Roy Hodgson as a coach. He can get the players up for this big occasion, organise them, get them talking to each other, communicating with each other. More importantly, get them a goal ahead on the scoreboard like they are. Oh, Viduka. Too strong there for Rigobert Song. Zelic takes up the cause. Ned Zelic down the right-hand side. Great ball in. Now, can Harry Kuhl do something?
You really can feel a roar of, like, something's going to happen because Harry's got the ball, can't you? I'm not sure how many people are here, but every time he gets it, there's one of the few raids down the right-hand side by Ned Zelic. He should be maybe doing a little bit more of that, getting more involved in this game.
As he puts that cross in, Aloisi got a head to the ball. Says, as calm as you like, goes back to the goalkeeper. There's just under 5 minutes to go before the half-time break. I'm sure for the Australian players there's a sense of wanting to achieve in front of the big Australian crowd after the disappointment at the MCG. As Vieri goes in, he pulls it back, and there is a goal. But it will not be given. It was a goal that was very, very well worked. But the offside flag is up. And Klinsmann tucked it away with consummate ease. And although that goal was disallowed, Wadey, it was class, wasn't it, Vieri to Klinsmann?
It's a joy, isn't it? Coaches all over the world just want their players to do that. Christian Vieri's run was just beautiful. On an angle, he could be hit. He didn't have to touch it twice. He hit it first time across the box. And Klinsmann, I mean, this is why he's played 108 times for his country. the best strikers in the world arrive at the right time, and it's only a pass across the... There's Leonardo's ball, it's perfect again, but look at the run from Vieri on an angle so he could be hit. Christian Vieri inside of the foot. It's so simple, this game. So often we try and complicate things.
Well, it's a free kick now to the World Stars. Okan Buruk will take it. Right to the back post. Klinsmann tangling with Popovic there. It looked like it hit someone's arm. I'm not sure whose it was. Play goes on. Kewell goes to the left. Players screaming for the ball to the right. Ned Zelic at the bottom of the screen there was in tons of room. Kewell is a player who doesn't need a lot of room. Just look at this, still going. And that's a foul. Julio Cesar. Kewell, you could read his lips there. He said, I didn't touch him. Julio Cesar, the very experienced Brazilian, playing these days in Panathinaikos after a great career in Italy.
Now in England, that's not touching him.
Yeah, there are different rules for different countries, without a doubt. There's so many different nationalities on the park. Understandable that there's just a little bit of confusion over the rules. Aloisi just working a metre for himself and cutting inside. Corica, look at the space on the left for Lazaridis. Cutting inside. Kewell, where will he go? It's off to Zelic! Well, he struck it beautifully. Well, Lamar's disappointed with his kick out once he made the save, but the save was a genuine save. Hit like a rocket by Zelic, and Lamar just plucked it from the air like it was very simple indeed. What a game he's had at half-time in this first half. Hodgson has said he wants to give all his players a game, but might be hesitant about taking Lamar off and putting Campos on, who arrived just this morning. I'm sure the Socceroos would be happy for a substitution to be made there. Kewell goes down. For the first time in the game, Rigobert Song with a tough challenge from behind.
It's hard to believe the kid's only 20 years of age, isn't it? I know what I was doing at 20, and it certainly wasn't playing on the world stage.
Zelic just under-hit the free kick. Leonardo. The World Stars have players in forward positions there. Now they have down the left with Simbala. Vieri keeping it in. We're into time added on in the first half. That's a great ball. Vieri! Well, the flag stayed down that time. You've seen Vieri score so many goals exactly like that. Challenge by Yakin in midfield. Yakin forward. Ocon there. Lazaridis almost took it off him. Ocon in control though. But almost a minute of time added on here at the Olympic Stadium. Zelic trying to salvage something from this first 45 minutes. Tony Vidmar played at left back all year for Rangers. Well, Blanco switched him to the right-hand side tonight. Well, there is the half-time whistle. A very, very lively first 45 minutes here at the Olympic Stadium. Australia were rocked by the early goal by the Swiss international Murat Yakin after just 10 minutes direct from the corner. Disappointing goal for the Socceroos to concede, but they bounced back well and truly. Some brilliant work in particular from Harry Kewell, who's leading the Australian charge. A number of great crosses for the likes of Viduka and Aloisi, and only the French international goalkeeper Bernard Labar in between the Socceroos and the ball going in the back of the net. At half-time here at the Olympic Stadium, it's Australia 0, the World Stars 1.
Again, welcome back to Stadium Australia. On the night the stadium was officially opened, let's go down to the sidelines with Paul Gregg.
Yes, thanks, Bruce. And joining us down here on the sideline is assistant Australian coach Les Scheinflug. Les, 1-0 down at half-time, but you couldn't be too disappointed.
No, I'm definitely, we are not happy. We are not happy with being 1-0 down, but we created 4 chances. We are playing against the world's best. But as you can see, we got plenty of good players in our own country, and they came back home and really put on a good performance so far. There will be a change in the second half where Viduka has got a groin strain and Aurelia Wittmer will come in.
And can we expect further changes? Is the squad going to get a run in the second half?
Oh, yes. Hayden Fox is knocking on the door. Players will tire because they haven't played for 3 or 4 weeks. But I'm very impressed with the way they battle. And, I mean, they're proud to play for their country, as you can see.
Les, good luck in the second half.
Pleasure.
Thanks, Paul, with Les Scheinflug there. So Aurelio Vidmar coming out. That's been the star, maybe, of the whole first half. Harry Kewell has had some great combinations with John Alesi. And Australia trailing by 1-0 here, but we have created a number of chances. So expect some changes for both teams. Commitment's been good, very good for both teams here. Paul Williams is back in the commentary box with Paul Wade.
Well, Steve Corica in shot there. He had a fairly quiet first half, but Australia had made one change because of the groin strain to Mark Viduka, and Aurelio Vidmar will be on Wadey, and he is a proven goal-getter of international quality.
I saw the Socceroos play the Olyroos midweek, and they were beaten 1-0, but one thing that came home to me was that Aurelio Vidmar has lost nothing of his prowess to get forward. There's Mark Bosnich on your screen. He's got a knack of being in the right place at the right time, similar to Jurgen Klinsmann, but he makes his runs from midfield. And that's the goal that has separated these two teams. Yakin not picked up at a corner, and they've paid the price. Have a look at Ned Zelic standing there, the green shirt. The number 4 just didn't quite make it to the ball, and Yakin got there first.
There is Aurelio Vidmar, 32 years of age. He scored 13 goals for the Socceroos in 35 internationals, by far and away the leading goal scorer with this crop of Australian players. A real eye for goal. He's getting married tomorrow, so appropriately he comes on and gets half a game here tonight after not starting in the side. And he is one of many great Australian players overseas who are ready to come home. He's looking to return to the Australian National Soccer League. There's the rest of the Australian bench. The World Stars are also making a number of changes. Also 5, we believe. We will confirm that as the teams work their way back onto the field. Christian Vieri, number 9, has taken over the captain's armband from Jurgen Klinsmann. He's staying on, which is great news. Simbalar, Julio Cesar, the Brazilian, Leonardo, the number 10, who was born in a surfing town on the coast of Brazil. He's never been to Australia before. He was excited about coming here because of the surfing culture in Australia. He loves to go for a surf, so he put up his hand up immediately to come to Australia for this game. Jurgen Klinsmann is coming off for the World Stars. There's the Goodyear blimp. Terrific pictures from the airship above the ground. What a great vision it is. And the news has come through on the attendance here tonight. 88,101 spectators. It is a new Australian record for a soccer game. And no surprise that it was broken here at the Olympic Stadium. And every single one of those 88,101 have enjoyed the first half, apart from the scoreline, perhaps, Wadey. A little bit disappointed, of course, as all Australians are so parochial, and they do want to win, despite the fact that it's an exhibition match.
I don't think they'll be too disappointed, because I know that they know that the Socceroos will give it all for the next 45 minutes. If the Socceroos were leading 4 or 5-0, I think people would be quite disillusioned, but they know they've got a football match on their hands, and this World 11 are not going to relinquish it easy.
Well, the players that have come on for the World Stars: Jorge Campos in goal, Javier Margas in defence with Hani Ramsey, Marco Branca in attack in place of Klinsmann, and also Sean Bartlett, the South African, on the park as well. And an early touch for Aurelio Vidmar. Great to see him back in Australia's colours. He'd be very disappointed to be left out of the starting 11 tonight. He scored the second goal against Iran at the MCG, Aurelio Vidmar. 5 changes from that lineup, incidentally, tonight for Australia. Zelic takes a shot! My word, that was quite brilliant. Ned Zelic has equalised for the Socceroos in the most emphatic manners. And the goalkeeping change for the World Stars. It's Jorge Campos' first touch, and he's had to bend down and get the ball out of the back of the net, but no one could have stopped that one from Zelic. It was brilliant. Well, he was given just a little bit too much room in midfield, but just look how far out he was. And that is world-class Paul Wade.
I think this was created, and you can't see it there on your screen. What a strike. Look at the ball. I think that's what's deceived Campos. He's not a big goalkeeper. The ball doesn't move. If the ball spins, let's see how much it moves. Yeah, moved fractionally in the air, deceived Campos, and he went down. As I say, he's not a big goalkeeper at all, but I think the room was created for Zelic by Steve Corica. He made a run round the back, it created a little gap, and through he went, Ned Zelic, and we've seen him score many, many goals for the Socceroos from distance, and there's another example of it.
Oh, Vidmar just trying to hook it over the back of his head for the run-through of Corica from midfield. Well, that has brought the crowd to life. All 88,000 of them. And a real boost for the Socceroos at the start of the second half. Jorge Campos, the Mexican, has taken over in goal for the World Stars. He's not wearing one of his colourful outfits tonight. I thought he'd be there in full colour. He's got his own range of sportswear that he always wears. Maybe he's just not allowed to wear it tonight. But Zelic glided past his man. And that was a great, great goal for Australia.
There's an indication. If that ball spins, you know that its line to goal is a very true one. If it doesn't spin, it starts to move in the air. Goalkeepers find it very difficult to catch the line of the ball. That swerved. It might have only been a foot, but that's all you need.
Flags up for offside. Leonardo just straying past the last defender there.
I wonder how these players psychologically, Paul, feel now. They've just got off a play, and we already know that. They've played a good 45 minutes. They're a goal ahead, but they know the Socceroos are going to come at them now. And when they've got a goal up, or another goal to draw level, they know their tails are up and they're going to go a step further, put it in another gear. I just wonder psychologically now what that's done to the World 11.
Yes, you're always a lot fresher when you're ahead. And here's the man who's equalised for Australia as Kuehl goes through. Just couldn't get there. Campos. Australia, several substitutes warming up as well. The World Stars made 5 changes at half-time, remember. Zelic on the ball. Aloisi trying to find some room. Kuehl wasn't really expecting the pass then. They were very close together, those two players. Marco Branca, his first touch, the Italian who plays at Middlesbrough in England, number 7 for the World Stars. Here's Leonardo. Little ball over the top, the air is offside. Well, we thought that Christian Vieri might be the man to tire but he is going strong still. Got very little sleep last night, apparently, after his long flight. 2 international matches in the last week. He scored for Italy against Wales last Saturday. Kuehl, what a quick turn that was. Cutting inside onto the right foot. Harry Kuehl all the way. Well, he was just pulling the trigger there, Harry Kuehl, when the lunge came in from Cesar. Australia now in control of this game well and truly as Zelic spreads it wide to Aurelio Vidmar. Corica takes over. Now Leonardo moving to the left and touching it down the line. That's a nice pass. There's Branca. Ocon. Well, he just creates time for himself on the ball, Paul Ocon. There was talk of him returning to the Australian National Soccer League. He had such a tough time in Europe with that bad knee injury. It now looks like he'll go to Fiorentina. Zelic skips past one. Won the ball in the tackle. Yakin, the goal scorer for the World Stars. Rigobert Song now operating down the right-hand side. Branca. A good touch by Lazaridis. Kuehl fouled right in front of the Japanese referee. That hurt Harry Kuehl as well. Just take a look and see. Well, no wonder it hurt. That was a full-on kick into the back of the ankle of Harry Kuehl there by Sean Bartlett, the South African substitute for the World Stars. It's Australia 1, the World Stars 1. Brett Emerton could be the man to come on for Harry Kuehl if a substitution is made. I'm sure the Australian contingent will do everything to keep Kuehl on the park. Just let the ball run a little bit too far in front of him there, and then he cut back. Sean Bartlett, who scored twice in France '98 for South Africa, was the man who the Australian public don't like particularly at the moment. So concern for the Socceroos, down to 10 men temporarily. As Popovic brings the ball out of defence. Vidmar free on the left. Lazaridis will take the throw. A lot of room there for Aurelio Vidmar. Is being pushed all the way by Rigobert Song. Bartlett clears his lines. Popovic up against Vieri. Vieri out-muscled his opponent. Kuehl's back on his feet. Maybe Australia don't need him because here's Lazaridis going through. Zelic may fancy another one. He does, it's filled. Loose ball, Campos gets there. Well, he's not renowned as a prolific goal scorer, Ned Zelic, but when he does score them, they're usually of real quality. And he almost had his second there. And Australia are going to make a change, but it's not Harry Kuehl that they're substituting at this stage. It's the goalkeeper, as we have a look at the save by Campos. It was a good one. And Mark Bosnich has made way for Zelko Kalac. Big Zelko, 6'7". Big moment for him as well. He's had a superb year in Europe with Roda JC in Holland, qualifying for the UEFA Cup next season. He won't be overawed by the occasion. Well, it looks like Brett Emerton will be coming on for Harry Kewell. Rigobert's song goes in strongly against Corica. Vidmar inside. Zelic, as always, prepared to go forward. Tony Vidmar down the right-hand side. The flag was up for offside. The substitution will be made. Brett Emerton is running on to the park, number 20 for Australia. One of the few Australians in the squad who aren't playing in Europe. He's still playing in the National Soccer League with Sydney Olympic, but he's only 20 years of age too, so one 20-year-old replaces another.
Yeah, he was a player that a little bit out of touch there for a long part of this season, but towards the end there he got it back. One thing you'll see about Brett Emerton, he loves to, again, he loves to run at players with the ball. He's described as Craig Johnson did, as one of the better crosses he's seen in Australian soccer. He has it all in his trick bag. He can swing them away from the goalkeeper. He can drive them in low. He really does have it all. He's got great engines. He can get up from one penalty area to the other so often it's not funny.
Zelic here. Emerton, what a beginning this would be! Brett Emerton! Well, that is an entrance that he will never, ever forget. Ned Zelic at the heart of it with the pass-through, but Brett Emerton, what a beginning to a football match such as this. And Zelic with that delightful little clip ball through. Emerton took it on the chest, got it under the goalkeeper, and that is a great moment in any career, let alone a 20-year-old.
Well, Leonardo did it in the first half, didn't he? The little chip, but Brett Emerton kept his cool here. So often it hits the goalkeeper's legs and goes out for a corner. He knew exactly where the goalkeeper was, kept it low. Ball did the rest.
Oh, and a chance here, Kalatz! Well, he needed every inch of his 6'7" frame, plus the length of his arm to get to that one. And Harry Kewell's calf muscle is the problem. He has gone for treatment in the tunnel. Disappointment for him, I'm sure, after he was having such a strong game. But didn't it turn out well for Australia? Brett Emerton coming on instead and scoring straight away. Well, now, what will the World Stars be able to come up with? Australia now have their noses in front. They've got something to hang on to. Bartlett. Yakin, here's Rigobert's song. Song continuing his run forward. And Lazaridis went with the ball away and was forced to concede the corner. Fly down for the Socceroos now on the far side of the penalty area. Tony Vidmar just getting back on his feet. Play held up just for the moment, is it? Tony Vidmar's staying on the park as the trainers run round to him. Oh, dangerous ball, Kalatz. Kept his eye right on it, and he had to as well because Vargas was coming through. Now look at this for a break for Australia. 4 on to 3. Vidmar wide on the left-hand side. Eloisi waiting in the centre. Little ball. Emerton. The flag's up this time. Well, Wade, there's a little bit of a reshuffle required there because Emerton is not the same sort of player as Kuehl. So it looks like he's gone to a wide role and 3 up front for the Socceroos.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea either. Once you, what we talked about it in the first half, that back four of the World 11 are just sitting there. So, and often when you go down the middle, they just close the gaps and there's no space in there at all. If you stretch them out really wide, then you give that little bit more room for people like Steve Corica and Ned Zelic, who's taken 2 tremendous shots in this second half, more opportunity to do so, because there's no wall of blue shirts there.
Corica goes back. Here's Alex Tobin. Ocon. Haven't seen too much of Paul Ocon coming into the midfield. It's a real feature of his game. Doesn't want to take any chances at the back, of course, and Vieri's pushing on to Ocon. Ocon got a little bit of a push on there on his buddy Christian Vieri. Vieri complaining to the referee about it. Aloisi back to Corica. Now here's Ocon coming into midfield. Clever little ball through is very dangerous. It's a loose ball. Well, hacked away by Margas. And no one knew what to do with that little pass from Paul Ocon. Here he is again. Corica. Plenty of defenders behind the ball. Obviously trying to turn away from a couple of them and just outnumbered there. This is a good break for the World Stars, but Vieri managed to get the ball. Had no right to there, really. Vieri is a good cross, good idea. Bartlett was coming through onto it. For Ilya Well, Rufa has got a bit of a shoulder problem, so he told me the other day he doesn't want to take any tumbles because it could pop out fairly easily. But give him half a look at a shot at goal, I can assure you he will take it.
Well, for years as Socceroos, we were blessed with the fact that Winton Rufer never came back to play for New Zealand. He was always had his commitments with Borussia Dortmund. Oh, sorry, Werder Bremen, I should say. And for that, we were eternally grateful. He's certainly a man who knows where the back of the net is. And fresh legs as well, and it's what the World 11 need.
Yeah, 14 years in Europe, Winton Rufer. Over 450 games at the highest level. By far and away, New Zealand's greatest ever player. And this is a good run from Song, but he won't get there. Well, Roy Hodgson did say that he felt that his World Stars team was just a little bit unbalanced in the defence. Players like Rigobert Song normally play in the centre, but he's been asked to do a job out wide, first on the left, now on the right. There's Emerton with the layoff. Down the line to Aurelio Vidmar. That's a great turn. Here's Emerton. Australia have plenty of players on this left-hand side. Corica is one of them, running through the centre. Still Corica. Oh, the little pass was aimed for John Aloisi. Leonardo just hit the pass behind Rufer there, and he was forced to check back, and you just wonder what's going through Roy Hodgson's mind at this stage.
I don't think Roy Hodgson would be too unhappy with this situation, because the Socceroos, they don't seem to be driving that final nail into the coffin. They need to be going at 100 miles an hour. This is where the tired legs and the tired brains of the World 11 need to be driven into the ground. You know, playing the balls around in midfield with Ned Zelic and Steve Corica is not going to do that. You need somebody to run at the defence. John Aloisi should be getting the ball every time, as early as possible. Aurelio Vidmar's making great runs, but he's not getting it often enough. There's Aurelio Vidmar now. You've got to really, when they do go at them, go at 100 miles an hour, so you get the World 11 backpedaling really quickly.
And another change for the Socceroos. Kevin Muscat is coming on for Tony Vidmar. Kevin Muscat, another who's had an outstanding season in England this year. He was voted the Player of the Year by the Wolverhampton Wanderers supporters. Wolves, of course, just missing out on promotion playoff games to try and get into the Premier League, and that was a big disappointment for such a big club. Emerton on the ball. Zelic, that's a clever pass. The flag stays down, the ball's pulled back, an own goal. But a goal nonetheless for the Socceroos. Javier Margas, the Chilean, just pulls the goalkeeper back to his feet. Both disappointed, I'm sure, but it was a great move by the Socceroos down the right-hand side, getting him behind the defence. And no answer in the defence. And Zelic again, what a game he's had. That was a fine ball. It was pulled back superbly. Vargas came in and put it past his own goalkeeper.
Well, I don't know, but that might be Kevin Muscat's very first touch of the game. And what a touch it was. Again, simple. Get the ball to the byline, cut it back, and then let's see what happens when the ball gets into the 6-yard box. Campos, not a very happy man. I think the colour of his shirt aptly describes the mood he's in at the moment. Flamboyant character, used to play up front, used to play centre forward, but he's not having a good night tonight.
Well, you never know. Roy Hodgson might bring Lamar back on. That's not technically allowed in this sort of game. It's a possibility. And Campos may have a run up front. It's only been on for about 22.5 minutes, and he's let in 3 goals already. He played just a couple of days ago against Argentina, as Rigobert Song finally gets a yellow card for one of those challenges. Campos played against Argentina in the United States in a thrilling 2-2 draw. He jumped straight on a plane to Australia. The first yellow of the game. Oh, no surprise either after taking a second look at that challenge.
Well, there's no wonder he got sent off in 2 World Cups when he challenges like that, is there? He's been good going forward at times, but that seems to be one thing that lets him down.
That's a great flick on by Branca. Bartlett with the cross, easy at the near post. Zelic, well, he's calm, perhaps just a little bit too calm in certain situations. Song now for the worldstar. Kalatz will come out and make that look very easy indeed. Let's take another look at this goal here. It was well pulled back, and Campos had no chance as the ball came off the Chilean Javier Margas. That's a great use of the body by Branca, looking for his fellow Italian Vieri in the centre. Muscat leading a goal in just the 10th minute as Ocon, calm as you like, just chests the ball back to Kalatz. One of the great things about this team, Wadey, is they've come through the system so well. They've played together in the Olympic team, they've played together in under-20, so many of these players, and they're now maturing. The Bosniches, Ocon, Zelic go back such a long way together. There's great camaraderie between them.
Well, they actually say now that if you're going to be a Socceroo, there's a career path there that is obviously, well, I believe, the envy of all the other football codes. You can start off as a 6-year-old playing for your local club in any state, and there is a career path there for you with the talent identification programs, and then state teams, and then the Joeys, which are under-17s, the youth team are under-20s, under-23s, and full national team. And they say that if you're not on that plan right from the start, the chances of you actually making it are 0. So it's there's no wonder these boys have played together a lot longer than most national teams.
player about to come on now is a perfect example of that. Hayden Fox, he's played for Australia at so many different levels, but this is a great ball through Vieri. Well, Kalatz again got a touch to that, and that's a corner. Well, he's earned his keep since he's come on, Zelko Kalatz. It's another good save to his name. And Vieri, those balls over the top, he took that on the volley. That was really quite a brilliant try. Great try, great save. Leonardo with a little wave to some local Brazilian fans. Hayden Fox is about to come on. I asked Hayden Fox the other day how he would feel about picking up Christian Vieri. And he said to me he wouldn't pay him any respect whatsoever. It would be just like picking up one of his teammates at school. So it shows you the confidence of a very young man. As Kalatz comes out, doesn't quite get there, and it's a goal kick. It's Australia 3, the World Stars 1. Did well to get in front of his marker there. Emerton causing some trouble down the right-hand side. Oh, he's given it to Aloisi. I don't think John Aloisi could believe his luck there. Leonardo turning away. Emerton just couldn't get there. Fox did now, his first touch. Hayden Fox. Free on the left is Aurelio Vidmar.
The one thing, Paul, that has improved over the years with the Socceroos is the amount of possession that they can keep, even under severe pressure. So often, a decade ago or more, we'd give the ball straight back to the opposition, and we were always patting ourselves on the back that we were hard workers, we were grafters. But I mean, we had to be grafters because we kept giving the ball back to the opposition. Now you've got quality players out there, people like, you know, Brett Emerton, who's a youngster. You can't push these boys off the ball anymore. We can keep the ball for 20, 30 passes. We can manoeuvre the opposition round, and when we get the right opportunity, we can strike.
It's a nice ball to Leonardo. World Stars have plenty of players forward here. Deep cross is a good one. Still in play. Song is there. Fox jumping with him. Lazaridis clears. Yes, you're quite right, Wadey. And I think one of the other things is if a team of this calibre had come to Australia a few years ago, we may have been just a little bit overawed by them and intimidated. But the Socceroos now, they just fear no one. These boys have welcomed the opportunity to play against the likes of Vieri and Klinsmann and feel they're well up to the task, and they've proven to be as well. There's plenty of shirts forward here. Aloisi, loose ball. It's a penalty. Is it a free kick? I thought the referee was pointing to the spot there, but it was a foul on the goalkeeper. Well, a good opening there for Australia. Plenty of players forward in the area.
Yeah, something they've got to do more of. This time Kevin Muscat doing the overlapping quality cross, something that they've practiced the last 3 days here in Sydney. Practice makes perfect. They've certainly got it right in the second half after disappointing really with that second last pass in the first.
Well, certainly Aloisi had every right to go for that ball, I felt as well. It was 50-50 between he and the goalkeeper. Just judged a little bit harshly to get a free kick against him. Corica takes it quickly. .76 minutes gone. 28,101 spectators enjoying a great match here, and Australia coming forward looking to add to their tally. And that's gone out, and that is a corner. And at this stage, it looks like it'll be Alex Tobin, the Socceroo captain, who will be lifting that aloft at the end of the game. Socceroo's fourth corner of the game is taken by Corica. Fox at the back post, got a touch on the ball as well, the youngster. Well, that was such a great pass by Zelic. Here is Fox. And we're really for him to go. Taking his time. Not lacking in any confidence about staying on the ball, and that's why this is brilliant from Australia. Fox free on the right-hand side. Whipped across. There's a loose ball here. Campos grabs it. Branca comes short. He's a quality striker, Marco Branca. He scored 10 goals in his first 12 games when he first joined Middlesbrough. One of the reasons why they had such a successful season.
Now we have a substitution for the ball.
It's a free kick for the World Stars. And Leonardo takes a break. And Matt Letizia, the Southampton striker, is coming on instead, but no, Yakin wants to come off. He's had enough, and Leonardo's been way back on, and he doesn't look too happy about it. He looks a bit tired, Leonardo.
Tell you what, if I was Roy Hodgson, I think the reason I'd put somebody like Matt Letizia on was because he wanted to take a free kick like this. That's perfect for his range.
Bartlett. Got that ball in, but fairly easily handled by Alex Tobin. South African Sean Bartlett, an interesting character. He had a great World Cup for South Africa, but he got married just after the World Cup, and Nelson Mandela was the guest of honour at his wedding. So he moves in some pretty high circles, the South African international. Zelic. Well, Lazaridis was just taking off to go outside him, but he managed to check back and just keep the ball. Fox, Ocon. Emerton. Tobin. Space for Vidmar to turn, and lots of it as well. Aurelio Vidmar. Still Vidmar. Well, a very difficult shot to hit. It's Australia 3, the World Stars 1. 35 minutes of the second half has gone. Cesar to Rigoberto. Leonardo just hoping for a long ball through there to Christian Vieri. Emerton. Well, he is moving around. Perhaps he can play in Harry Kewell's role, switching sides and moving inside and outside. Plenty of green and yellow shirts forward here. Corica on the ball. Lazaridis. Tobin. The crowd want more from Australia. They want another goal. Just to say they won't receive one as well, as Corica has the ball. Oh, this is a great ball. Vidmar through. Another goal. Campos saves it. And it was Kevin Muscat forward down that right-hand side, but another quality build-up from Australia, and so patient with it as well, waiting for the opening. Now, Lazaridis on the gallop down the left, coming inside. Well, the understanding between Stan Lazaridis and Aurelio Vidmar is sometimes quite extraordinary, but just on that occasion it didn't come off. Great ball from Leonardo to Vieri. Vieri might fancy his chances here. Well, let's give Christian Vieri some credit. He's still on the park as we move into the final 10 minutes of the game. And here is this last opening. Muscat working his way through the centre. Jorge Campos with the save. Vieri, that one was well wide, but he must be exhausted. While he's in Sydney, he hopes to open a couple of restaurants in Darling Harbour. A chance for Australia here, very well taken indeed. Well, Muscat very much to the fore for Australia since he's come on as a substitute.
Yes. Dead easy playing football when you know the other 11 players are on their last legs, isn't it? And that's what they needed. They needed somebody to take the game by the scruff of the neck and have a go at him. And that's exactly what that man, Kevin Muscat's done.
Emerton's coming in. Campos, not the tallest goalkeeper. Took it fairly well. So Australia looking for a very consolidating fourth goal, which would cap off a fine evening for Australian football. The World Stars need 2 goals in very quick time indeed. There's around 7 minutes remaining.
Christian Vieri's under a fair bit of pressure back home. He was quite relieved to leave the country. A lot of the people are saying that a man who's worth $200 million, they could find a lot better things to spend $200 million on, like the poor. And he was under a lot of pressure from the media over there in Italy, and he was quite surprised when he arrived at the hotel here in Sydney to realise that nobody in the hotel foyer was actually looking for his autograph. He commented to one of his close friends that it's a pleasure to walk into a public place without being harassed by the public for an autograph or a chat.
It's a fishbowl existence in Italy for Christian Vieri as Aurelio Vidmar loses his boot there. Meanwhile, Australia have made a substitution, and Ned Zelic, who really got Australia back on track in this game, has gone off. And Vince Grella, the young man, is making his debut for Australia tonight now. Corica. Owisi. Just lost his footing there for a moment. And it's gone down the line, and it's a good pass. And just in a moment, it's 2-on-2 as Grella's coming back. Branca on the ball for the World Stars. Grella nibbling away at him. Branca, great ball. Leonardo, well, a super move by the World Stars. Grella on the ball. Well, it was a good idea. The flag's gone up, though.
This should be really no challenge to Vinny Grella. He plays for Empoli in Italy. His idea of his goal, if you like, is to play 100 games in the Italian First Division. And his very first game was against Juventus of Turin. And he had to mark. He was told to go out there and do a job on Zinedine Zidane, who just happens to be the World Footballer of the Year. The guy who scored 2 goals in the World Cup final to kill off Brazil. And he said it was the scariest moment of his life. There he is, to mark somebody of that quality said the number of players of international class, world class that they had on that team at that moment. He said it's something that he will never forget. The kid who grew up in the southeastern suburbs of Melbourne.
So you reckon he may be taking this all in his stride, eh, Wade? He just...
This is just his job, yes. Just another day at the office for Vinny Grella.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see whose shirt he tries and gets out after the whistle goes at the end of the game to see if you're right. As Campos has the ball. It's a wild one from Julio Cesar. Vieri with that little touch back to Rigoberto. Apparently when Vieri did sign for Inter Milan just a couple of days ago, the first thing Inter wanted to do was stop him from coming to Australia for this match. Because they had just too much at stake, too much money invested in him. They couldn't afford to get him injured, but he said, tough luck, I signed a contract 2 months ago and I'm going. They do have a certain amount of clout when they want to pay that much money for you, so here he is. So the World Stars looking for their second goal. Socceroos hopeful of a fourth. Vieri with the touch off. Leonardo. It's a clever ball. Vieri, little layoff. This is a fine move. Branco just couldn't get on the end of that one there. Zaridis, a touch inside. Aloisi, the touch off. Corica, the little dummy. This is promising. This from Australia. Vidmar is through the centre. He's touched it on. But Aloisi will keep it in. Flag stayed down. Emerton has gone short. At the far post, that is a fine ball. Here's Kevin Muscat. Here's Grella. Well, Australia still 3-1 ahead of the World Stars. Grella there. And a chance to really make a name for himself like Brett Emerton did when he came on as a substitute.
Maybe that's why Empoli were relegated.
Oh, that's a great goal from nothing. There was no angle there whatsoever, and it's Winton Root for the New Zealander. What a great moment for him, because he was going to have an operation on his shoulder, but he just delayed it so that he could make the appearance in this game tonight and line up with some of the World Stars. I don't think he's hardly touched the ball since he's been on. But he got behind his defenders there.
Now you know why the Socceroos were blessed to have him playing in Germany and not for the New Zealand national team. Zelko Kalac selling himself a little bit too early there. Tried to anticipate the shot instead of standing there. I'm sure he'll be looking at the video thinking, why didn't I just stand and let him beat me instead of me beating myself?
Well, all of a sudden, the World Stars are back in the game. We've got maybe a minute or so of time added on. And we've had half of that already. So they'll have to be very quick if they're going to salvage a draw here. Traditionally, these sorts of games are high scoring. Maybe there's another for Australia. Campos. Well, he's off his line. Vidmar will chip him. Great moment in the match. Coming right at the end there. Well, he's a real entertainer. Campos came out and just chested that ball as though he was a sweeper. That was Australia's 15th shot of the game, compared to the World Star 6, which really does tell the story of the match. World Stars still a chance to salvage a draw. We're into the second minute of time added on. The Socceroos, and it's Everton. Probably the quickest player in the Socceroos. And if that pass had found Aurelio Vidmar, you'd put your money on it being 4-1, 4-2 rather. Corica. Pace of the game has slowed significantly. The flag stays down. Muscat across. Oh, almost found its way to John Aloisi at the back post. Second bite of the cherry for Kevin Muscat. Ocon, a little tug of the shirt, but was waved play on. Leonardo and Vieri are both having a go at the Japanese referee for that decision. Well, we're into the third minute of time added on. Lazaridis is still looking. He's got some energy left. The ball as Aloisi and Campas tangle with each other at the back post. Well, the World Stars, understandably, are exhausted. And there it is. Australia have come out on top. And the exhibition tonight, well and truly, came from the Socceroos over the World Stars. For large periods of the game, they dominated. Surprisingly, they went in a goal down at half-time. But then Ned Zelic scored the goal of the game early in the second half. Brett Everton added another 11 minutes later, and Australia were back in control of the game. And an own goal by Javier Vargas, the Chilean, in the 68th minute, meant it was well and truly Australia's night, and a late rally by the World Stars, and a goal by Winton Rufer just closed up the score. 88,101 fans have enjoyed a great spectacle here tonight as we watch the players exchange shirts. A great moment in Australian soccer, and a very good victory indeed too for the Socceroos. The final look at Stadium Australia from the Goodyear lightship. And Paul Gregg is on the sideline with our man of the match, Ned Zelic.